Hi everybody, welcome back to a new reading vlog. I have been recording some of them, I just haven't published them yet because I'm not really finished. But today I'm very excited because my secret project #1 from Dragonsteel, aka, you know, Brandon Sanderson himself, finally came. Should show it like this. And it says, "Err on the side of awesome." And I feel like that's true. So I've been waiting for this for forever because it was delayed, and then they wouldn't, like, you know, actually give me the freaking package. So I had to, you know, get my dad to get it for his address instead. So it's a little bit delayed. I finally have it though, so I thought I would open it because I know there will be some goodies in here. So let's do it. Okay, so it's open. Woo. A story doesn't live until it's imagined in someone's mind. Wait. And then we have this card, which is spoilers on the back, so I won't read it, but it's the Dragonsteel logo. And on the top we have a character pen, and this is Casimir character pen, and this is supposed to be Vin, you know, from Mistborn, who I love. We can get the plastic off and therefore less glare. Here's Vin. Okay, and then we have a lot of paper, so let's remove it. Ooh. So the first thing I see is Tress of the Emerald Sea sticker, which is really pretty. Oh, look at that. Oh my god, so beautiful. I don't know who this is supposed to be though. We'll figure it out. So this is supposed to be World Hopper. It says on the back. Oh, okay. So this is supposed to be Tress, which is what I figured it would be. Okay, this is supposed to be a oversized bookmark. An epic bookmark for an epic book. And then I can actually see. That looks like one of those, like, classics, you know, from like Barnes and Noble or something. It feels so nice. Oh, it's so pretty. Ooh, look at those end papers though. Is it the same in the back? Yes. Tress of the Emerald Sea. Illustrations by Howard Lynn. Okay. Oh my god. There's supposed to be a heck of a lot of illustrations. We'll see if we can find anything in here. My god, look, I'm guessing this is Tress, and this might be some sort of love interest. I don't know, but I love it. So pretty. Just look at those headers, like so simple, yet so pretty. Oh, I want to read this one so bad. But I'm currently rereading another Brandon Sanderson, so I feel like I should finish that first. But this says, in the middle of the ocean, there was a girl who lived upon a rock. This was not an ocean like the one you have imagined, nor was the rock like the one you have imagined. The girl, however, might be as you have imagined. Assuming you imagined her as thoughtful, soft-spoken, and overly fond of collecting cups. And that's all it says. But from the few people that have actually had the time to read this book yet, the ones that got the ebook, meaning, oh, look at that. They say it's a really great book. And I mean, it's Brandon Sanderson, so I have really high expectations. But hopefully, you know, he will come through for me once again. I mean, he has a lot of times in the past. So yeah, I'm really excited. So I'm gonna dedicate this reading vlog to reading this gorgeous, magnificent book. That It's my very, very loud neighbor. Life tip number 1, never live next door to a DJ, cause you'll go slowly insane. Anyways, it's such a weird light. I have been reading Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I haven't really told you guys what it's about because I was just so excited to start reading it. So basically we meet this girl named Tress, and she lives on this island that is not very habitable. I think there was like 60 people or something living there, and they're not allowed to leave the island unless you're part of the Duke's family or somehow connected to the king, or working for him. Everyone else has to stay there, so none of the ships and sailors are allowed to bring them away from the island. And Tress has always been sort of inclined to stay. She doesn't feel the need to leave. She's friends with Charlie, who's actually the Duke's son, and you know, she's just going on a merry-round day, and she loves to collect cups from different parts of the world, which she gets from the different sailors that are visiting the island. And there's not a lot of stuff that can survive on the island because usually the sort of island kills everything. So they live off of stuff they get from the sailors mostly, and they sell like beer and other stuff like that to the sailors. But one day Tress decides that she needs to leave the island, sneak out basically, because her friend goes missing. So basically that's about it. The world is really interesting. The ocean is not like a typical blue ocean. For starters, it's green, and it's also sort of made of spores, and you can walk on it if you'd like, but any type of water or sweat or blood or anything liquidy really touches the spores, and it will like shoot out sort of you know, leaves and stems and shit like that, which may or may not kill you, and you might suffocate from it if it gets into your mouth and stuff like that. So you know, it's a very dangerous sea, but Tress needs to leave, and I mean obviously she ends up leaving because otherwise the story will never go anywhere. But adventure ensues. There's a lot of shit going on. There's been quite a bit of action so far. Tress is trying to figure out some secrets going on, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm currently on page 130, which is the 20th chapter, so I'm a little bit way through now, and I'm enjoying it so much. It's definitely very different from the other Brandon Sanderson books I read, and as you might be able to see, there's so much sun. Like up here and there are my Sanderson shelves. You can't really see because spring might be around the corner. I don't know. We'll see about that. Usually it snows the day after you think that. Anyways, so it's very different from all the other Brandon Sanderson books. In a good way. But you can definitely tell that it's a Sanderson written book because of the world building and the characters that keep on evolving. But also when it's the world building, like he gives you a little bit of tidbits, like you get to know some information like about the ocean and stuff like that, but basically as yeah, well, it works kind of like this, but I'm not going to tell you all the information now. You'll get more later, and that's the way he likes to write, you know, keeping some things for himself until it's necessary for you to know it, and you have to keep track of everything because that what makes the books awesome. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I have really high expectations, but I'm sure he will live up to them. So she's like 4 now, so I kind of feel like making some toast. I don't know, I do have to start editing some videos too. The neighbor's really starting to annoy me. Anyways. Okay, so it's actually Sunday the 19th now, and I ended up reading 252 pages of this yesterday, so I did pretty good. And today I've read quite a bit as well, because I'm currently on page 362, so I have about 112 pages left, I think. So it's not that much, but I have been annotating a bit. I was contemplating should I or should I not annotate such a beautiful book, but I decided I would, because there was too many funny quotes and like world descriptions and character description stuff that I just wanted to annotate. So sue me, I did it. But the world is really cool about the spores, and turns out that there's more to the spores than we originally knew, which is really interesting. Definitely very deadly, but also pretty cool. And I feel like Tress has had a big character growth so far. She was sort of quiet and timid in the beginning, didn't really want to tell anyone what she hoped for, what she wished for, and now she's a little bit more rebellious. And also we've met a lot of interesting characters on the ship that Tress has been sailing with, and they're very different. They're a little bit quirky, is the word I'm looking for. But I really do enjoy them. Of course, we have the bad guys in the story as well, but I don't want to spoil anything. But where I left off right before dinner is like in the middle of the action. So I don't even know how I put it down. Shit is about to go down, or rather shit is already going down, and I'm worried about people dying. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't updated you guys that much because I just been plowing through this book. It's like 9:40 p.m. so I am definitely not going to finish it today because I need to work tomorrow, but hopefully I'll get a lot read at least. So yeah, let's get back to reading. Hi, so it's actually Monday now. It's February 20th, and I made it to 410 yesterday. So I have like 65 pages left, I think. She's a 8:45 p.m. so I might watch some book, like I might watch on YouTube, but I want to read this as well. I don't think I'm gonna finish it today because I have like a pounding headache, honestly. So hopefully tomorrow maybe. But I'm gonna do my very best to read as much as possible. What I enjoy so far in this book is, of course, Tress' tremendous character development, the world building with the spores and like everything you find out about it. I also really like the other characters. Highlands, Bush. I also really like the other characters. We meet a pirate named Fort, and he is deaf, so we have some representation. He's also really cool, and yeah, I really like him, and fun, and you know, he likes to trade people for stuff. We have some magical creatures, of course, wouldn't be Brandon Sanderson without it, and yeah, lots and lots of adventures. And you know, I love a book with pirates, which is also awesome. I like the fact that we have a sort of bad guy or villain or whatever that you really love to hate, honestly. So yeah, I really like that. And above everything else, I really enjoyed the fact that Tress is not some sort of damsel in distress. She's not the one waiting in a tower or castle waiting to be saved. She is in fact the one that is trying to save. She's in fact the one that's trying to save her friend. So I really like that because, you know, kick-ass, resourceful female characters. That's what we like. But yeah, we'll see how the reading goes today. It's Tuesday. It's February 21st. And like I predicted, I did not end up finishing Tress yesterday. I ended up watching a little bit of YouTube, and then I read like 15 pages of this, and then I passed the fuck out. I was so tired, I could not help it. So I still have like 50 pages left, and honestly not a lot happened during those 15 pages. She's off to another adventure, basically. And I'm really interested to finding out how this book is going to wrap up. Knowing Sanderson, it's gonna be intense. But I do still think that this is supposed to be a standalone, so hopefully no cliffhangers then. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to finish it today either because I'm tired, which is like almost 9 p.m. so guess I have to get ready for bed, and then I'll read some and get as far as I possibly can, I guess. It's February 22nd, it is Wednesday, and I wanted to wrap up this vlog. But like I said yesterday that I didn't think I would actually end up finishing Tress yesterday. But I did. Somehow I found the power to struggle through my sleep deprivation, which I don't know how I had because I didn't sleep too bad, but I need a lot of sleep these days. Anyways, I ended up finishing Tress. I read the last 50 pages. It was really good. One plot twist I did see coming, but only like 2 pages before it actually happened. So I didn't figure it out that much sooner than the characters themselves. So I'm not mad about that. It was definitely an interesting like conclusion, like a resolve around different parts of the book. I don't want to spoil anything. It's so hard not to. But how to conclude this book, honestly? It's very Brandon Sanderson. It's amazing world building. Characters are really interesting. We get to know them, all of them, like maybe not as much backstory as in some of his other books, but it's only the one book, not 10-book story, like some of his other works. But you do still feel like you have enough information about them to make your own mental picture of how they are and what they look like and like their background and stuff like that, which I really do enjoy. And the fact that the sort of water or whatever is made of spores and what the spores are able to do and like how they control shit, and that was really interesting. And also the fact that Tress, saves the day, and the fact that Tress tries to save the day instead of being the damsel in distress, which we always like. Pirates. I love pirates, period. Book-wise or movie-wise, I don't care. I love it. And yeah, just amazing character development, and that's what I live for, people. I need to have a well fleshed out storyline, and shit has to happen, but characters really important as well. So yeah, I am definitely very happy I read this book. It was definitely worth the wait. Since it was like a couple of months ago since the Kickstarter ended. I'm really looking forward to the second book in the Secret Project, which I think you were supposed to get in like April or something like that, so it's still a while to go. But definitely high hopes for that one. And I have no idea what the second project is even about. I don't even know the name of the book. So that will be interesting. Hopefully it will be beautifully matched to this one. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. You should definitely pick it up. Even if you didn't join the Kickstarter, you can still purchase it later when it's released by the official publisher, which I think is supposed to be in March, so soon. So you should definitely try to get your hands on this. And yeah, I ended up giving this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. So yeah. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog, even though maybe I didn't update as much as I had planned because I was too hooked on the storyline. I wanted to read my book. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. It's been a while since, I actually finished one. So maybe I'm a little bit rusty. I don't know. But yeah, if you like this video, please give me some thumbs up. And I hope we see each other in the next one. Bye.